So I was watching XFactor's best Yoda setup video, which is getting kind of hit with some dislikes and some trolls, but I wanted to discuss that because it's very interesting. It's almost like trying to be a YouTuber right now covering this game. There's too much toxicity from the trolls to actually do so, since everybody loves to hate and it's hate season. Where's Godimus?
Unable to accommodate a whack motherfucker with commentary who gotta hate. Boo-hoo, you had a rough life as a kid. What do you want, a fucking hug, homie? All of us did. Because they hating on me even when it ain't no reason. So I'm hating right back on them cause it's hate season.
So I left a comment because dude's disliking and trolling XFactor when he was brave enough to make the pay to boba video. And y'all trolls have no loyalty to quality games. You're just trolls. Eat a dick. I wanted to thank XFactor for using your time as a game changer to help DICE and make the game better. And also stabbing EA in the back. That took balls. Then XFactor replied, which is awesome. And my respect for XFactor's gone up a lot since this game's launch and everything. So that's cool. I'm glad I subbed to him a while back. And I'm glad to see him doing some good for the gaming community. And then he replied, to be fair, I told people not to buy BF3 and BF4 for 6 to 8 months after launch. Been here before. And that's the funny thing. XFactor shows loyalty to DICE and the quality of the games above all else. Not the horrible progression system or the pay-to-win aspects or EA's money-grubbing hands all over the development process. He's in it for the gameplay and because it's a game, and he's here to have fun. I make it very clear, Rainbow Six Siege is still the best shooter out this generation. If you're looking to play the best shooter, point blank, get Rainbow Six Siege. But if you're looking for a fun Star Wars Battlefront game, if you like DICE, if you like Battlefield 3 Rush mode, if you like DICE games, or you want to play the evolution of first-person shooter games, I'll make the video on selling the game later. But the point is it's a fun game plagued by a horrible progression system, EA's grubby hands on it, and DICE's incompetence to fix anything properly and efficiently. And that's where we find ourselves right now. Some dude thought, the way I phrased my comment, I kind of left it open to interpretation as what I mean by good games, as whether or not I was calling Star Wars Battlefront 2 a good game. And I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a good game because I have fun playing it. If you're a good game, you should have fun playing it. And so that's how that works. So yeah, I would call it a good game, but it's super plagued by other things that make me angry about it. Speaking of stuff that's being plagued and has big issues right now, gotta throw some question marks towards Microsoft, because if you go to their Xbox store, where I used to be able to do the most played games list, if you go to the Xbox store right now, and you scroll down to top games, which still hasn't been updated in the last 3 days, when you hit see all, where it would normally show me the top 50 games list, now it just shows me the top free games list. I'm hoping this is just a bug and they're gonna fix it, but if they don't, this is really annoying. So I'll give Microsoft some incompetency award again as always. That's why I could never be an Xbox One fanboy. Microsoft's so incompetent in doing anything that's actually good. That's gonna be the theme for this video though. It's EA and Microsoft, one step forward, one step back. And here's the Xbox most played games list before Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out. So this is the reason why I make the most played games list. It's trend spotting at its finest. And as you see here, For Honor slowly crept up to the chart. Now it's coming in at 16th place. I heard it's got dedicated servers apparently. But the point of the matter is For Honor is sneaking up. Another Ubisoft game that's actually good. Just sneaking up. So pay attention to that. Destiny 2 still down at 6th place. Remember, Rainbow Six Siege has been out way longer, but doing way better. And a DLC's coming out for that. So Rainbow Six Siege is about to get another huge spike in its player base. I am very interested to see what's going to happen if Rainbow Six Siege propels back up to the elite top spot, or is it going to hover around this spot where it's at now? That's what I want you to pay attention to. They're continuing to support Fortnite. They got silenced MP5 on the way, and they got some new in-game mechanic that redeploys you in the middle of the game apparently. I gotta mess around with that and see what that's like. But they're constantly updating the game and adding stuff, and I'm loving that. So I'm gonna dabble with that game throughout the holiday season. So I expect a lot of people also to. So this game is gonna be another staple in the most played games list. And as you got COD World War II, I mean, it's got 3 out of 5 stars, but I'm not really sure why. So we'll see how COD World War II's reign goes, if it stays at the top or if it falls later when all these good games start to overpower it. So, and remember, this is also the day before Star Wars Battlefront 2 drops, and when that comes out, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn if how much the Loot Crate debacle actually impacted its sales, and how strong of a start does it get out compared to the first game. And a big thing I want to pay attention to for Star Wars Battlefront 2 is let's see how this business model, not splitting up the player base, and if it gets a really strong initial sales because it's Star Wars. If those two things, and DICE's strong DLC and endgame content, if all of that comes together for a highly sustainable multiplayer game that DICE is going to now have, because Battlefield 1's always stayed outside the top 10. But for as long as I've been doing these videos, I don't remember Battlefield 1 ever being at the top. It was only Star Wars Battlefront 1 that I remember being at the near top. So it'll be interesting to see what Star Wars Battlefront 2 does. really interested in that one. I don't know. And let me know your thoughts down below. Does any of that interest you? What are your thoughts on these games that are coming out? And For Honor sneaking up on the list, man. I'm not saying I predicted For Honor sneaking up the list, but I definitely saw and was hoping it was coming, because if that happens, if it keeps going up, I'll definitely get that game and play it, definitely. But I was waiting for it to, you know, kind of find its niche, find its fulfillment. I was kind of waiting for Honor to find itself, and it seems like it's definitely starting to find itself, and I'm happy about that. Why make this list? Because it shows right now Ubisoft games are strong games that come up over time. Look, Ubisoft's now got 3 games in the top 16. They got Assassin's Creed Origins, Rainbow Six Siege, and For Honor. EA's only doing it because they got Madden and Battlefield 1. Meanwhile, Rainbow Six Siege and For Honor are basically brand new titles. They're basically brand new games. They're basically brand new 2017 this generation games. Battlefield is still the same game. That's disrespectful to Battlefield. I can't say that. That's my real point, though. Like EA's in the news with all that hate, and meanwhile Ubisoft actually is doing better than them. So remember that. But yeah, anyways, the takeaway is that you see Ubisoft doing really well with their games that are actually good. You see EA only on this list because of Madden's an annual release and because DICE is their workhorse. Remember, Ubisoft, For Honor was just a crapshoot. They're lucky that guy had a really good idea. And Rainbow Six Siege, they're lucky whoever's idea this game was, they're lucky he also had a really good idea. But these aren't like I said, these are fresh games. That's what gives Ubisoft a huge advantage. And in a stagnated games industry over the last couple years, it's nice to see this really hard push we're going through right now of all these innovative games rising to the top. And I hope people are taking notice. Remember, Battlefield 1 at least changed the time era. COD World War II at least changed the time era. All these games are doing different stuff. Rocket League's just completely different. Overwatch is at least unique in its own way. Assassin's Creed Origins, they took some time to polish it. That is the trend spotting I wanted everybody to pay attention to, that these good games are coming up. Good games. Good, unique, different, fun games. Like, I don't know, just the gaming industry in all is kind of positive. See, when you look at the most played games list, I don't know. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on the most played games list? Well, and that's going to be the video. Thank you for watching, and peace out.
All I see is little plastic soldiers with little plastic holsters. Spit on plastic cultures, belittled by sarcastic vulture swarms. Warning, I skipped your stepping stones down by the seashore. It's that scarlet welcome carpet that I fiend for. See, let's masquerade, merging separate flows of music smarters. Threw my flag into the ground and claimed your land for starving artists. The masquerade, merging separate flows of music smarters. Throw my flag into the ground and claimed your land for starving artists.